Hey guys, and it's Flight Sim Today here. I just want to say thank you for watching this video. The content you're about to watch was taken originally from Airline to Sim, who are no longer training. You cannot even get this program anymore. It's gone. Originally £40, it was an in-depth and really good resource for the A320, which is still relevant today if you're using the Phoenix program. Originally hosted by Ben, and they had a guy called James who was a real airline A320 pilot. I will be taking the 27 episodes where possible, snipping them up into much smaller chunks, making it easier for you to digest, and maybe you don't want to learn one thing but learn another. So if that's your thing, please do subscribe so that you can keep up to date with all the new videos that will be coming out over the coming weeks and related to this.
Now, the one thing I really wanted to ask you about was this weird armrest, because we've probably all noticed it when we're in the flight deck, and it's kind of big and it's wide compared to the other side, which is thin. It's got numbers on it. What is this? Why is it so weird and big, and what are the numbers?
Well, I'll start off with, it looks really weird, and it does. And I remember looking at it the first time going, what is that? But there's a good reason for it. The reason for it is it wants to be able to get a really good grip of the side stick, like a good... it's basically one that means you slide your arm down it, and then your wrist is the one doing all the movement on that. And that's why it's shaped like this, so you can get the right angle. It's wide enough that you can sort of have a bit of movement, and it's trying to meet all the different sizes of humans that are in the world. That's really why it's kind of this really odd shape. And that's what's clever with the Airbus is, I think they said that 98% of the people in the world can fly the Airbus. That's how they designed it for, which is pretty good, you know, yeah. And the letters, so we'll come back to that, and what they're for is you can set them up the first day you get in the aircraft. So a day of base training like we would now would be one that you would have been in the sim before, but you would have go in the aircraft and you'd set the same letter and number, and you'd be like, that's my setting.
So what do those numbers do? Does this moves up or down, or kind of like pitches up a bit or down?
Yeah, it's like I think the letters change where it's pivoted from. Okay. From the chair, and then the number at the bottom changes the angle that it's at, so the sort of pitch, right, as such, of the
and you change that if we put it up, we can actually see, if I just spin round here, so you can actually see it has this little wheel. That's how you adjust it, right? That's
it, yeah. So the wheel there, and there's a wheel on the side, and you kind of adjust them with that. And I know that I'm E and like 5 point, just after the 5. So I get in the aircraft and I set that, and I know I've got a reference point for setting what I need to do on the armrest. Right, and it's super important to get it right. Yeah. Because if it's wrong, you'll start using your arm muscles to fly the aeroplane. And then that's too much, and you start over-controlling it. So that's why they put a lot of effort into this.
So really, in terms of your own joystick at home, you don't want to try and fly this with your whole arm, because you're putting far too much weight into the joystick. Yeah. You almost want to kind of like just kind of grab it and just steer it with your fingers, really.
Yeah, you want to hold it lightly and try and... you want to try and do it with your wrist as much as you can. It's difficult to do from home, but just as long as you're aware that you can over control it quite easily, so just be gentle.
Now, you were telling me, we had a conversation about this, and you said you actually had a little I hope you've got a picture of this. I'd love to be able to share it.
I might do somewhere, actually.
All right.
I'll have a look.
You had a little, I think hack is the right word.
I think it is, yeah.
You actually had a little, and what was it?
So what I did is I put an ironing board up to the side of me. Okay. I put the side stick on it and then a pillow. So the pillow was supporting my arm. Yeah. And it went onto the side stick, and it felt pretty good.
It did work.
It did work. I just looked a bit stupid.
Of course, because it looks like you're going to do the ironing.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't.
so most of us would just put the joystick on the desk. Yeah. But actually, it's not a very instinctive way to fly the Airbus, particularly.
Because if you look at it from what we can see in the flight deck,
if I kind of move, I'm going to move to the pilot's position. So the side stick is down by his left knee.
Down. Yeah. It's not up on the... If we were basically doing this, we would be putting it on the tray table.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me open the tray table. So your average flight simmer, the joystick's like here in the middle.
Which is kind of not what you want.
No, not at all, yeah.
So if you can put it down to either side, if you want to fly from the right or the left-hand seat, and I do recommend an ironing board with a pillow.
Yeah, no.
It does work.
Absolutely. That is James' recommendation. Yeah. Okay, now, there is a bit of a gotcha with the seat and the armrest. Actually, it nearly brought down an A330, didn't it?
It did indeed. Yeah, that's correct.
So what happened?
There is a bit of a gotcha with this, and basically what it means is the armrest can get quite close to the side stick, as you can see there.
Yeah,
That's
look,
pretty
it's
close.
touching. It's touching.
Yeah. And it really gets quite close. And what happened was, it was a A330, as you said. I think it was it RAF?
It was a
or
Voyager one.
Voyager,
The Voyager, which is like the refueling version.
That's right, yeah. And what happened was the guy had a big, nice, fancy camera, was taking pictures, which is fair enough, dropped it, and then it got jammed underneath the side stick and in between the armrests.
Wow.
So then it pushed forwards, and as most aircraft have got, there is a sort of amount of force that you can push on the side stick and it will disconnect the autopilot, which makes sense, because if you want to desperately grab it, then it will do it. And that happened.
Wow.
But it jammed forwards. So then it started to go into a nosedive.
Oh my
and
God.
he pulled back, and he couldn't recover it. And it overspeed, and then the overspeed protection, which we'll be looking at shortly.
Yeah.
At some point,
They needed it.
Yeah, they needed it, and it helped them, but they couldn't. They just couldn't get out of the dive because of the side stick.
Wow.
It was jammed.
Okay, so since then, what happened? Airbus warned about putting stuff
Yeah.
in between. That if you move the seat forward, you might jam it into the side stick.
Yeah, because the seat is powerful.
Yeah.
The motors in the seat, have to move, various sizes of people.
Yeah,
around.
I mean, there's some big pilots out there, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I've done it where the chair comes out and parks slightly to the left. I've left my bag there. And it's just gone. I'm like, oh.
And it traps it.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's not coming out.
No.
All right. So there's a little Airbus gotcha.
Yeah.
Right
yeah,
there.
Definitely.
All right. Cool.